Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. This is the October 2019 monthly Tarotscope for the sign of Aquarius. So if your sun, moon, or rising is in Aquarius, I would suggest that you watch this video. If it does turn into sort of a love reading, anybody with their Venus in Aquarius may want to cross-watch this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, the thumbs up button, and also you can feel free to share it anywhere, comment, subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell. That way you're notified when I do other videos. I have pick-a-cards and I do a daily forecast for the energy of the day for the collective. So those are all available to you too. Check out the YouTube channel and see, what's out there. Let's get into the forecast for the month of October. I'm going to shuffle the cards for a moment. Just give me one moment. I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm new to Instagram as of like about 10 days ago. So my Instagram is Engelgeist333. If you want to follow me there, I would greatly appreciate it. Still figuring out how it all works, but I am on Instagram. All of those buttons are located in the Linktree link. And I am available for private readings. This is a broad spectrum reading for all the Capricorns who may tune in. So if you feel as though this is something that resonates for you, or you want some more deeper information or more specified information to your particular situation, you can feel free to contact me through those links. Oh, wait, did I say Capricorn? I meant Aquarius. Sorry, I just did Cap's video. All right, this first card represents sort of where you guys are going to be resonating for the month, sort of like how you're going to be feeling, the general gist of the month for the month of October for the Aquarians. This is the Woman of Wands. This is like the Queen of Wands. We call this the Beyonce card. It's sort of funny lately. In the daily forecast, somebody has joined us from YouTube with the name Beyonce Knowles. So it's funny that this card shows up. If that Beyonce Knowles turns out to be a Aquarius and she watches this video, that would be hilarious. Although I do believe that Beyonce Knowles on YouTube might very well be a 300-pound man named Tiny. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But anyways, so the Woman of Wands Censor. This is all about sort of fiery energy. This is about being in control, being loving, and sort of, owning your sort of spirituality, your spiritual self, your psychic sense, your... to me, there's a little bit of manipulation energy here, but I don't necessarily think that it's manipulation in a bad way. I feel like it's like sort of, with this card, it feels like I want to know the rules so that I can break them in the month of October. So most of my Aquarians, it feels like you guys will be empowered in this energy. You'll be sensing everything around you, touching in on your more sort of intuitive, psychic, spiritual strengths, but doing so in an effort to sort of push yourself forward, to push yourself ahead. People need to meet your needs or meet your requirements. I feel like this card feels a little demanding to me for the month of October. So my Aquarians might be having high standards the month of October, expecting to be treated like a queen, okay? Like Beyonce, as they say. But, sort of, people have to rise up and meet your standards in the month of October. I feel like your perception of yourself will be high and will be beneficial is not the right word, but sort of to me it feels like you will be holding yourself to a high standard, so you'll expect those around you to sort of deliver if they want your attention, if that makes sense, okay? The next card is the Foundation card. This card sort of tells me a little bit about what's going on previous, like in the past, that would lead us to what's going on in the month of October. So this is the Seven of Crystals, which is dullness. So I feel like maybe the Aquarians have been feeling sort of stuck of recent or not being treated the way they need to be treated. And this is why they've kind of come into this Woman of Wands energy. Like they're starting to sense that, wait a second, I deserve more. I know that I deserve more. and I will have more at no matter what the cost, kind of thing. There's this fire built under you or burnt up under you during the month of October to be sort of acknowledged for who you are. I feel here like mentally you guys have either been stuck in some situations that you haven't wanted to be in or haven't enjoyed. You've maybe been treated in ways that isn't like acceptable, and you've maybe stuck around them a little bit too long. And this to me feels like the freedom from that. This card here feels like she has broken free from the dullness or the trappings of her mind or the trappings of others people's limiting beliefs around who you are or how you are, right? This is more about sort of like embracing your power and not having any shame for it, right? Not having any sort of regret or second thoughts about being in your own power and operating from that place. And certainly it seems like in the past you've sort of given that over to others or let others sort of not take it away from you but block it to some degree, or you haven't acknowledged it within yourself, and that's going to stop in the month of October. So I like that. That's a big shift that's taking place. Now, the next card is the Spirit or Soul card. This card tells me a little bit about where your spirit or soul is at in all of this. So this is the Nine of Wands, which is integrity. This is a beautiful card. And we have the Woman of Wands as sort of where we're centered at for the month. With this sort of, I remember when I said we want to know the rules so that we can break them. There might be a little bit of manipulation. There might be a little bit of controlling energy. There might be a little bit of high expectations of expecting people to meet us at our level. And we sort of deserve that because it looks like we went through some tough times mentally of recent, or we've been dealing with people that think less of us or block us in who we want to be or how we want to be. But this spiritual side, or this spiritual card to me, is the Nine of Wands, which is also a fire card, a fire sign card, but also a spiritual card. But it's integrity. To me, this is a more quiet, meditative, deeply spiritual sense of self, right? So this connection to your spiritual self, although you're having it here in the Woman of Wands, I feel like it's a bit more, I don't know, maybe aggressive or fiery in nature than what your spirit is actually looking for. Your spirit in the month of October wants meditative. Excuse me, I need a sip of coffee. Your spirit is looking more for meditative connection, integrity, maybe, and not just within yourself, but within those around you, within the situations around you. Your spirit wants you to understand your own strength, your own ability to sort of walk the path alone if you need to, and you don't necessarily need the opinions or the ideas of others sort of dulling your brain or your thoughts and clouding your vision of yourself, okay? The next two cards are the outside influences. These can be both positive or negative, and they generally represent as people, sometimes events, sometimes it can be things more vague like energies or belief systems that we've adopted that are having an influence or an effect on us. So your first influence is the Priestess. Interesting, this was in another reading early on in the Tarotscopes from yesterday in this exact same position. And to me, the Priestess always represents as secrecy. It's a very strong female. I do feel like this is somebody that maybe isn't like quite around you, but it's funny to me because I feel like we have the Priestess and we have the Woman of Wands. Do we have a war going on? Do we have somebody in our life that might be telling us that they know better for us, but they're not telling us everything about what they think about us? Do we have somebody that's maybe passing judgment on us in the month of October? And maybe not, we can feel it, but they're not necessarily saying it. I think this somebody maybe is somebody that might not be in our day-to-day life all the time, but they are important to us and they matter to us, but they might be far away or we don't necessarily see them every day. But when we chat with them, they might be giving us nonverbal cues as to how they feel about us, or that they don't see us as being on the same playing level or playing field as them. Does that make sense? I think that they might be also what has helped in the past to create this Seven of Crystals, which is this dull thought. Like maybe they think less of us, or they think that we're not able to pull off whatever it is that we want. And what we want is we want this integrity. I think that they have their own version of what integrity is, and it's not necessarily the same integrity that you guys have, right? This is more secretive, more It's not that they're not good people, it's just that they don't always say what's on their mind. They don't always tell you what they're thinking, but you can almost feel it emanating from them. You can sort of like, to me, this almost feels like a like a power struggle, where you're trying to find your way and your understanding and your own internal power, and they're trying to give you theirs or tell you how they did it for themselves. But what they have is not necessarily what you're looking for. Okay, you're looking for this Nine of Wands, which is this deeper spiritual integrity and strength. And although the priestess is strong and has spiritual, her own version of spiritual integrity, it's different than what you're looking for. Does that make sense? So the next card coming out as an influence is the Tower. Interesting. Now the Tower is the card that everybody freaks out about. The Tower and the Death card, and sometimes the Devil. I don't necessarily see these as bad cards. The Tower to me is always representational of something that we thought was always going to be a constant, ends up changing, shifting, falling apart so that we can create something new. Nature abhors a vacuum, right? So we need to find our way to a new solution, a new situation, something that serves us better. So something in the month of October is going to come to an end, or begin to come to an end, begin to fall apart. And I think that it could very well be this relationship with this female, or it could be something else that's equally as important. But whatever it is going to be to the benefit of the Aquarians. You guys just have to sort of ride it out. To me, it's sort of like, how well do we lean into it? If we hold on too tightly to how things are or were, and we don't, or we're unwilling to let go, then it's going to be a much more painful experience than if we just sort of let go with abandon and fall free and then let it go and know that something new will come in its place that's better suited to us. Okay, we can create something better. Now, this last card is what I call the potential outcomes card. This card sort of is where things are headed naturally with the energy as it stands. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to come to pass. We have free will and choice. If this is something negative, we can make choices and changes to affect the outcome so that it doesn't come to pass. But if it is something positive that we want to see happen by month's end, we can sort of just keep going the way that we're going and allow this to happen. So your potential outcome is the Eight of Crystals, which is synthesis. To me, this is all about like sort of coming into better communication, maybe with oneself, maybe with with our surroundings, maybe with this priestess, okay? But it feels like situations are going to have to fall apart first before we can start to rebuild again. Synthesis says to me that there is this, there was this period in the past where we were stuck. We were stuck in our thoughts. We were being told by others, however it was, that we were being given misinformation or believing in misinformation about ourselves, and we weren't really owning it. In the month of October, throughout the month of October, we're trying to own it and be in our power, but we might be feeling guilty or being told that being in our power, we're doing it wrong by somebody here. That friendship might come into play, or might run the risk of sort of falling apart, or other situations might sort of fall apart because they don't want us to come into power. Do you understand this, Aquarians? Like, they want you to stay sort of stuck and buried. But what you're going to end up doing, or what the majority of you might naturally end up doing, is finding a better way of thinking, a better way of communicating with the situations around you, and adapting in a way that brings synthesis to you and these situations so that you can work through them and communicate through them with less sort of mishaps and miscommunications by month's end. So to me, this doesn't seem like a bad month for you guys. It just seems like there might be some unexpected changes. If you guys roll with the changes and stay true to yourself and seek out your own internal integrity, do not slip back into negative thinking and getting stuck. Do not let others predict to you or tell you who you are, or what you should do, or how you should be. Stay true to yourself. And roll with the changes. You will get to a place where you will have this sort of synthesis and this ability to sort of communicate better, think better, and own your space from a place of clarity and feeling less blocked. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you're interested in a private reading for more in-depth, personalized information, you can feel free to contact me. All of that information will be included in the description of the video, or you can use the Linktree link to find me in all the different places that I'm at. Follow me on social media if you would like, Engelgeist333 at Instagram, and I'm on Facebook. I have a business page there. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you like this video, and hit the bell so that you get notified when I put up new videos. I look forward to seeing you at another video, and please have a great October. All right, bye-bye.